The issue I am raising, the Honorable David Muhoozi, former CDF, and usually is the one who comes here because the Honorable Tafire doesn't come. He came and told Parliament that when soldiers and policemen are arresting people, they must identify themselves. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, he said, I disagree with that minister. When I raised the issues here of deploying soldiers in South Sudan, and Parliament asked the Minister for Defense to explain, immediately the spokesperson of UPDF dismissed him. He said that one represents us only in Parliament. General Yoweri there, he was called a buffoon by the CDF. One by one.
What is the procedural matter?
I am raising it if you allow me background. One by one, whether ministers, whether UPDF soldiers, whether committees of parliament are becoming victims of CDF. So the procedural issue I am raising, Madam Speaker, whether you should not get government at the highest level to tell us, because recently he said, you opposition, you are going to beat you during elections. For us, we are Tutsi. These are serious matters that, Madam Speaker, everybody, every sane person must be concerned with. They are not matters that can just be ruled and we continue. I mean, I don't know, Yoweri is about to run away. I don't know whether David Muhoozi sits in his office comfortably. The Minister of Defense the other day was here. So we all have become victims of this one man called Muhoozi Kainerugaba. This parliament must find a solution.
At least for me, I'm not a victim.
Oh, made it very clear that he was just talking. And I don't want to fault him. I was in Ruzira in 2011 in B2. I slept on the mattress that the Honorable Mao left there. And actually, my first meal is what he left before he was taken to Nakasongola. So the Honorable Mao is a victim. What the Speaker did yesterday was to shift the responsibility to a person who has washed his hands clean, that I am not responsible. That's why, Mr. Speaker, because I had to go by your guidance, the Attorney General who went to court was here. I don't know, but by your guidance took us to the wrong address. That's why even the Honorable Mao is asking, have they done this? Have they done this? My only disappointment is not what he has said. The disappointment is that we have suffered with him. You can imagine I slept on your mattress, the one you left there. And I don't think you celebrate those days when Mr. Museveni took you to prison. That's why you must lead us in liberating and rescuing people who are suffering the same way you are suffering. That's the only disappointment I have. That you can seek to rationalize the disobeying of a Supreme Court judgment by government agencies. At least your presence there should be like last time when I saw you also regretting why you joined and you are threatening to leave. So if they are not following the Constitution, I have known you, Honorable Norbert Mao, for a long time, since you are an MP here. You've been pushing for constitutionalism. I want to hear that Mao who speaks about constitutionalism and rule of law, not one who rationalizing people who are disobeying Supreme Court order. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Now, Honorable
has said, after the CDF has said, after voting, don't hang around polling stations. The law on election is very clear. You can have agents representing you, but the voters can stay in a distance that is prescribed by the law. Well, that can be answered by the Attorney General. We need to get government to tell us whether the military, like it did in 1980, December, has now taken over the organization, management, and supervision of elections. Because recently I was on a radio station and there were adverts run by the military telling people, go away after elections. We now have the military and the CDF in particular speaking more about election than the chairman of the Electoral Commission. The Attorney General, Mr. Speaker, if you allow, can he address himself to the law clearly and unequivocal whether voters are not allowed to stay at a polling station like it is prescribed in the law? And then I don't know who will volunteer to tell us whether General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the CDF and military have now taken over elections. Leave alone the violence, beating people, military hanging all over. And so can those two issues be answered, Mr. Speaker?
Right one, speak.
So the information I wanted to give you, thank you, Honorable Asuman, is that the Attorney General was the chairman organizing illegal events at which Muhoozi Kainerugaba was seeking to be a president. He was the chairman. When we are talking about matters of rights, I see no appetite from the NRM to participate. The other day you saw how Honorable Akamba was arrested, not even like a chicken thief. Grabbed. The tendency from my experience here is for our colleagues from NRM to think violations are limited to us. I told you here at the beginning of this parliament, I was in B2 in Maxon, where former Vice President Gilbert Bukenya had been a resident, where the Honorable Jim Mwezi had been a resident, the Honorable Mike Mukula, Vice Chairman of NRM, had been a resident. You need to understand how President Museveni works. Many of you, one by one, you will find yourself in prison. You can sit here comfortably because they are talking about VSJ, his opposition. That VSJ we are talking about was the one treating Museveni. Nearly Museveni died in Ruwero. But VSJ treated him. This is how he's paying him. This is how he will pay you. You can pretend. The fact I was grabbed from here and dragged by police for protesting. The Honorable Mama Mbaz complained here why I was not taken to the disciplinary committee of parliament. I saw him on TV being grabbed by the collar in Ginger. So this is a very serious matter. When rights are, that's universal. Mr. Speaker, I raised here the issue of Dr. Besigye being kidnapped from Nairobi, where he had gone to attend the book launch of the Honorable Martha Karua. That is more than, it was on December, it was November. 2 months later, the statement hasn't been brought. The Honorable Mujuche is raising the issue of continuing to violate his rights even when he's in prison. The Attorney General has been summoned, the deputy, I don't know, has gone where, and all these good people are just looking at us. So why are you in government if you are of no value to Parliament? That they are raising issues. I have seen the Honorable Nankabirwa here when she was Chief Whip. Every matter you raised, she would excuse herself for 5 minutes and she brings an answer. Today they are all seated. Wait for your day. My fear, your ruling seemed to limit the Committee on Human Rights. When Council Aaron Chiza was dragged and beaten, I was happy when I saw the tweet attributed to Honorable Fox. I am only praying that you don't limit them. They need to look at all the issues surrounding this matter. If you get lawyers beaten the way, and he was very angry in his tweet, can you allow them to go beyond just the prison, in accordance with the rules, so that they deal with all these issues?
You see,
Dr. Kiza Besigye is being treated in Luzira. We have visited him. At least those of us who belong to the same side with him, we have talked to him, taken food. Now that right has been taken away by the prisons authority. But also when you visit him, Last time I was there with the Honorable Muijuche, Honorable Kamara. They have now put a grass, so he stands behind some grass and there is a microphone. You can't even be sure that you are speaking to him. We don't know why these conditions, because Dr. Besigye is the most imprisoned person under this government. This is the first time that he is being treated like this. What is worrying us, Mr. Speaker, even more, when you deny people food of their choice, because food is also medicine. We have had colleagues who leave Ruzira, including Besigye's brother, and as soon as they leave, they die. Dr. Chiguna and others. We don't know whether it is deliberate that when Dr. Besigye, if he ever leaves, he leaves when his life has been really affected. More worrying, the CDF, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, announced that Dr. Besigye will be hanged. Mr. Speaker, I did not take the statements of General Muhoozi seriously, but now I do. Why? He said they will go and attack Kenya, they will be in Nairobi. Actually, I thought it was a joke. But Dr. Besigye was kidnapped from Nairobi. We had some other colleagues, 36 kidnapped from Kisumu. For me, I don't need any further evidence that actually they attacked Nairobi and took it over long ago. When the other day he called General Yoweri a buffoon, I kept asking myself, did he ever do something buffoonery for General Muhoozi to begin calling him a buffoon? And for UPDF officers who are here, you must be very careful with what you do. I kept asking, what has he done? My memory took me to Kasese, where he commanded the attack on Rubiri. And I said, is that what Muhoozi was referring to as buffoonery? So I am using that as an illustration to say I take his statements because our colleague needs protection. He said his New Year resolution includes arresting General Yoweri. I am happy General Yoweri is here, he hasn't yet been arrested. So, Mr. Speaker, I am saying I take his statements. The other day he said he will arrest the Committee on Defense. Those crowns cannot summon me. And I saw them seated comfortably. The guy has refused to come. So I now take his statement serious. So when he says he wants to hang Dr. Kizza Besigye in May, he said he has actually now shifted it. I don't know whether starving him in Ruzira becomes part of the process, but I want to ask government to tell us. Dr. Besigye was generous. He tweeted President Museveni when they were fighting in Luweero and his family. Why are they paying him by starving him, Mr. Speaker? When Mujuche is here, we went and met Dr. Besigye, even spoke to him. This speaking behind the grass is a new thing. Maybe you don't go to prison. We keep visiting people you have arrested. I was in Kitale, I was in Kigo. I have never spoken to anyone behind the grasses, General Muhoozi. Maybe you live in heaven. Censored ministers, but they were reappointed. That is one. The Article 107 also speaks about the state of the president. With all the things that have been said here about Namuganza, why did the president appoint her in the first place? I'm talking about 107. So the procedural issue I am raising is whether we should not consider actualizing 107 by periodically examining the state of the president.
But I am reading my
Chinyefuza, Lieutenant Colonel Serwanga Rwanga, Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye gave their opinion on the return of parties. The Commander-in-Chief wrote, and I still have a copy, guiding that military people should actually be listening posts. They should not say anything because they can cause the country problem. Mr. Speaker, there is a case in the High Court against General Muhoozi Kainerugaba getting involved in partisan politics. Yet his father guided clearly that military people can only, so General Yoweri there should never say anything here, you just listen and go home.
Daughter's wedding is in a month.
I seek guidance from you. The matter of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba addressing rallies, supporters addressing rallies is a matter now before a court. But there were also, I don't know why the Honorable Nandutu is boiling. Mr. Speaker, the guidance I seek from you, I have seen the reports mainly in the social media of you, our leader, canvassing support and even thanking the people for being there for a military officer, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who is before a court for violating the constitution and the guidance given by the commander-in-chief. In fact, if you recall, when former Army Commander General J.J. Odong was appointed the minister, this parliament refused to approve him for more than 2 months. Eventually, that changed. If it didn't, General Katumba Amara would never have been a minister, but the constitution was thrown just like that. So the point, Mr. Speaker, whether you are aware that there is a case in, because I don't want to see my speaker being dragged to court as a witness that is part of the MK who are violating the constitution, as it is being saturating in the social media that the speaker not only is a member of MK, but is canvassing support for a serving military officer. So I thought, Mr. Speaker, as our leader, we have a duty to defend you. That's why I was offended when the Honorable Openg was attacking you, because the burial is not a sitting of parliament that the speaker must leave last. I was offended.
Thank you.
The president had said that at 75 you are really retired. But since at 78 he is still able and to deliver a State of Nation address, we need to thank him. My colleague, the Honorable Aisa Agawa, thanked him for not sleeping, for hard work. She forgot that the president has sacrificed his entire family. The wife is a minister for education. The son is a senior presidential advisor. The son-in-law, Mr. Odrick Rwawogo, is senior presidential advisor on export. His brother, General Salim Saleh, is the senior presidential advisor. Some children, directors. Really, we can't thank this family enough. This kind of sacrifice, Mr. Speaker, our president is the only one who is doing this on the continent. You appoint your wife a minister, your brother a presidential advisor, your son a presidential advisor, your son. I need to be helped to understand whether nepotism has changed the definition, that you can staff your government with family members and then you walk to Parliament of Uganda representing all constituencies and you still want to speak as a head of state. What is it that is so special with this family that everybody in the family, either a presidential advisor, a minister, a commander in the military?
Point of order.
Of Prime Minister, and for every question she's looking at her shoulder. I want to go to Rule 50. We have UPDF officers who are in this parliament. You hear members of parliament, the most recent one from Njeru, that he has gone to see Muhoozi Kainerugaba, General, to develop his constituency. Yet we are the ones who pass a budget here. So I have two issues. Procedure. The first, Can the president publish a list of all his relatives and we know who handles which development? The second one,
A list
Can
of,
we-
a list of what?
of his relatives, and we know who handles.
for
Because
what
Honorable
reason?
Njeru went to Muhoozi Kainerugaba. I want to know who I go to if I have another matter. And then, Madam Speaker, and this is a very serious matter, don't take it because I have seen MPs going to meet General Sare. If we have two generals who are important and they can attend Parliament and answer questions, why don't we chase away two from these ones and bring the others who can answer questions in the Parliament?
Honorable,
This matter, Madam Speaker, relates to an issue I raised here regarding human rights. 3 of us members of Parliament from a party under construction, PFF, the Honorable Francis Mwijuche, the Honorable Kamara, and myself, were arrested taking a protest note to the Kenyan embassy. We are actually now reporting to court almost twice a month. When I raised this matter, the Attorney General made an undertaking to come here and brief Parliament why 3 MPs were roughed up like chicken thieves, but also to brief Parliament as to why 36 members of PFF were kidnapped from Kisumu and charged.
It is called what?
PFF.
PFF.
Yes. Madam Speaker, you know these things because you are in FDC. Madam Speaker, the 36. The 36.
Honorable Ssemujju, I am informed that I am not in FDC.
Madam Speaker, that's why I said you are in FDC. I'm not saying you are still there.
Okay.
But
what is the issue?
So the 36, the response that government promised relates to our arrest and then the kidnapping of the 36. Madam Speaker, why this matter becomes very important to receive an answer is that this government is squeezing people. You have just had 16 members of National Unity Platform being coerced by the army to plead guilty for offenses they did not commit. We have 36 who are there on terrorism. Our celebrities are in court. So the reason and you are saying order. The other day near the Fort Portal mayor was killed by NRM and his NRM. So those of you are just order. Wait for your day tomorrow. So the issue I am raising, Madam Speaker, is an issue of human rights, deteriorating human rights. These military people who sit here every day are squeezing our people. That's why when they are here, they are just quiet. They are squeezing our people in courts of law. Instead of taking people in courts of law, they are squeezing them in their tribunals. So can we get that response, Madam Speaker, on those 3 issues? Those who were kidnapped, our arrest, the 16 new members who have been squeezed by the military to plead guilty for offenses they have not committed.
Order.
But order from our side, why don't you sit their side?
Yes, there's an order.
Thank you very much.
And each one of you here, potentially, you might be in prison tomorrow. We have had MPs who have just returned. So when you are speaking about matters of prison, please, the former LODU, allow us to raise these matters. Madam Speaker, the issue of abusing prisoners' rights.
There is a process.
I went to Chitalia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Rule 73(1).
Much, Madam Speaker, for your wise ruling. You see, when these prisoners, one of them, the ones who are alleged to have confessed their crimes, now from prison's uniform, he appeared in an NRM t-shirt bearing President Museveni's poster. I was in Chitalia. I took t-shirts to PFF members, the 36 who were there. And the prisons told me you cannot bring political t-shirts in the prison. How did government access prison to take their Museveni's t-shirt? You simply cannot abuse rights of prisoners, even when they are subdued. Madam Speaker, these matters are very serious matters. I see...
No, for me, all I want is an update. Let the minister give us an update, how far the government has gone. On the issue of the t-shirts, that's simple. Yes, Honorable Minister.
So if you stop the equal opportunities to compare other people with the MPs and Parliament, where are you sending them? To compare them with Kenya and Rwanda? Because within the same environment, comparison is what will show you the vulnerabilities in terms of... so the clarification I'm seeking is whether you are now stopping them from making that comparison. Was aware and he will be here on Tuesday. But also related to the Madam Speaker, issues of sovereignty, we need government to allay our fears about reports that an American surveillance aircraft has violated our sovereignty on 3 occasions. For us, we can violate the one of Kenya and then complain when America is violating ours. But we need you to allay our fears. Because the background to this is that you had the CDF giving American ambassador 48 hours to apologize to his father. Subsequently, you have an American surveillance aircraft violating our airspace. So can government lay our fear that we are not at war? I don't know what's wrong with the LDUs. This is a very serious matter.
Order.
He's on procedure.
Thank you.
Honorable Member of Parliament, but he has a history.
No.
He has a history.
As of now, he's a member of Parliament.
I agree, Madam Speaker. If it offends him to speak about his history, I am very sorry.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I want to go to the subject matter that you directed government to come and explain. Rules on procedure, and you are seeking guidance. Yes. That is the first procedure issue I am seeking for your intervention. The second one, I disagree with my Minister for Justice that the whole of the budget committee is actually accused of corruption. I sit on that budget committee. I have never asked or even signed the major report.
Honorable members, can I reread the letter?
Yes.
First of all, the issue of moving emotion is basically a prayer that somebody seeks for the House to take a decision. And he had his prayer, which has been put to a vote, and it has been accepted. So it passes. You want the letter to be reread? First of all, honorable members, we cannot say that our members are corrupt. We cannot, even if some of our members have been arrested and they're in prison, there is a presumption of innocence. Honorable members, can you shut up? Please. There is a presumption of innocence. You cannot say somebody is a thief. How many members are in a budget committee?
In this letter, the president has written the word corruption and said with allegation. It is in this letter.
is a key institution to governance and democracy. The leader of opposition raised the issues of abduction, issues of raiding political parties' offices, but also we have an unfinished issue of the implementation of the Supreme Court judgment. I thought that the Attorney General is going to develop appetite to respond to these issues. Because as far as I know, you have partially transmitted files. There are other people who are still crying there before they are in jail, their warrants ended. I thought you will brief Parliament, because Parliament, and I want to thank you, Madam Speaker, on this issue. But I am raising a procedure. I don't know what's wrong with people who put on military uniforms when they are civilians. Because in the military, there are no procedure. Is that what you want to suggest, Honorable Abe? When others are raising procedure, you wait. Procedure are not raised concurrently. So, Madam Speaker, I want to seek for your indulgence for the Attorney General to lay the fears, not only of those of us who are here, but the country, on issues of abduction, issues of raiding political parties' headquarters, but also issues of getting everybody who has a file, like the Supreme Court ruled, transferred. When are they going to be transferred? You cannot transfer them at leisure.
Honourable members,
assignment supposed to go to every corner of the country. But I heard you, Madam Speaker, quarreling that the people of Teso cannot be paraded. The point of privilege I am raising is whether now Teso is caveated. NOP cannot meet them, PFF cannot meet them, even when they come by themselves. Because I have been in Teso on issues of compensation. The other was in Kakumiru. So point I am raising, Madam Speaker, is whether now you have reduced all of us into community, local government leaders, that we cannot meet people outside our communities. South Sudan. And the reports keep coming through the media, including the most unfortunate one that we lost a colonel who was part of the fighting in DRC. But there are also reports in the international media accusing Uganda of using chemicals in South Sudan. You may have seen the video circulating. The procedural issue I am raising, Mr. Speaker, is when will you facilitate government to brief Parliament and the country on these wars? Because we cannot, as representative of people, continue consuming information from media, from social media, when our country and our army is executing wars at two fronts, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable,
I thought we have discipline. If one MP is speaking, even if you want, here people speak by expressing interest. They don't shout like they are in a market.
now I don't know, on record, I don't know whom we can record that you are quarreling with.
It is very difficult.
So, Honorable Ssemujju, continue.
It is very difficult, Mr. Speaker, to record the people who are shouting like my neighbor from Kabola. It's very difficult. But the point I am making, and I am sorry if the Honorable Government Whip took it that way, but where you are seated, VSJ used to sit as a State Minister for Internal Affairs. He actually was the chief. He was political commissar of the party where they have accommodated you. He started it by risking his own life. So when I am inviting you, I am not undermining you. I am only reminding you that one day they may treat you the way they are treating USG. So that's the point I made.
But
so
wish
Mr.
him
Speaker,
well. Wish him well.
No, I want to invite him to join the war to defend the Constitution. I don't have to wish him well. So if you defend the Constitution, you will not be a victim. But even if I wish you well, I wish Besigye well every day. I didn't know he would be in Ruzira.
So, honorable colleagues, please time.
My motion, Mr. Speaker, is that you suspend the sittings of Parliament until government commits itself to full implementation of the judgment of the Supreme Court. You see, Mr. Speaker, I now can understand why the Honorable Kafuzi left FDs to join NRM. You are the one who went to court. You are the Attorney General. And the court gave you instructions. Now you are saying they haven't copied it to you. Where were you? You went to court, took a matter, the Supreme Court made a ruling. Is the Honorable Kafuzi in order to pretend that he must be activated by people who didn't go to court, yet it is the Attorney General's chambers that went to court? Is he in order?
I think these are quarrels between OBs.
First, I sympathize with the colleagues who accept to be appointed ministers. Why do I sympathize? The minister for Kampala, when you asked her to respond, she was as crying as any other member of this parliament. We did this, we did this, we did this. I don't know why you accept to be ministers in a government like this. And I am saying this deliberately, Mr. Speaker, because I have seen here, I have seen the Vice President and the Prime Minister after their appointment going to Gulu to thank General Sale. You all have contributed to creating this disaster of one man taking every decision. That's why all of you here, cabinet, you are here crying. Why don't you convene a cabinet meeting and take a decision? You come to Parliament to cry. So what do you want us to do? Mr. Speaker, Chitezi was one of the villages I represented in the 9th Parliament. The solution cannot be transferring that particular problem to Mukono, as my colleague, the Honorable Abdullah Chiwanuka, has said. People who live in Chitezi, even before the death, because the waste you put there is not processed, it has attracted all the dogs in the world, all the flies. The trucks that carry garbage from Kampala maybe are supposed to be carrying firewood. They go dropping garbage from every point. The Honorable Chiwanuka Abdallah says he doesn't want garbage to be taken, but they will be passing through my constituency. We will also stop you because we don't want to be turned into another side. Because by the time these trucks reach Chitezi, they have dropped 10% of the garbage along the way. That's why that whole area smells. And the road from Gayaza goes through my constituency to Mukono North. Please find another way. Maybe you can ask the president to offer his job, because we will not allow you to use our villages on your way to Mukono. Mr. Speaker, I have visited National Water on behalf of the country. And government business takes priority. The ministers, who are about 5 dozens, are all not here, Madam Speaker. So the motion, Madam Speaker, is for you to adjourn Parliament until government is ready. A member of Parliament from NRM, the MP Honorable Biraro, has just complained that this government, this NRM government, has neglected his people. I wanted to ask him why does he then support it. But Madam Speaker, this is a serious matter. If the NRM elections have affected...
You've moved your
cabinet,
motion.
Yeah, I am moving. I haven't
Can we
finished.
first get...
I haven't moved, so I am moving. If this NRM cabinet of 5 dozens has been ravaged by NRM internal processes and they can no longer function, Madam Speaker, we need to adjourn Parliament until one of them is here, or you speak to the President to tell us if he has a functioning cabinet. Because the public spends about 2 billion shillings per day to run this House. And the Honorable Musasi, and I thank him, there are ministers here who pretend, even when they are not authorized, that they are representing government. And I really congratulate you. If government has not authorized you, you don't come here and represent it. So, Madam Speaker, my motion is that you adjourn Parliament until government is ready to transact business on behalf of the public, then we resume. Otherwise, all the issues
is
are going
that
to raise.
seconded?
Yes.
Is it seconded?
A meeting in China, and again our president was represented. You have just said even for Commonwealth. I did ask here, Madam Speaker, and this Parliament may not have taken it seriously, the need to check on the health of our president because of his age. All these important meetings that he has been attending traditionally, he now can't attend, and you're saying order.
Honorable members,
So
honorable members, that is the benefit of having a deputy. Why don't you complain when my deputy is chairing here? And I mean, you delegate. And as far as I know, President Museveni may even be more healthier than some of us.
Madam Speaker, I agree entirely. But when it becomes a tradition, for example, the Minister of Education never attends Parliament, I have every reason to keep asking. What is so special that a Minister of Education cannot attend? What has happened to the President who was representing Uganda to the General Assembly, to meetings of heads of state in China, now to Chogam, that he cannot attend every meeting, he must be represented?
We passed the rules here that you can participate on virtually, and I've always seen Honorable Kataha online. Even now she's online if you want to when we have an issue on education, she'll address us on education. So, but for now, let's first listen to the leader, right honorable leader of opposition.
I've invested money in doing roads linking us to Eastern DRC. You also know, Mr. Speaker, that we are paying almost $1 trillion shilling to DRC because of stealing its gold. We've been paying money in the budget. I am only requesting, if you may find the pleasure, Mr. Speaker, in asking the Minister for Regional Cooperation to update us on especially the investment we have made, which makes sense, especially trade. And then finally, Mr. Speaker, the banning of our embassy, as you say, the Minister will explain. I have raised the issues here of the reckless conduct of our CDF. The other day he spoke in defense of, in support of M23, and we nearly got chased from Congo, our military who is fighting there. Can you, Mr. Speaker, also ask defense to come here and explain? Because these things were bound to happen. When you're talking about it, some MPs thought we were joking. The way he was mocking Congo, the reckless nature of the CDF, the trouble that it has started causing Uganda, because that banning of our embassy is partly because of his tongue. Can you, Mr. Speaker, procedurally ask defense to come here and explain if now they have contained his tongue? Because sooner than later you'll have a problem either with Khartoum, with Ethiopia. The other it was Kenya. Now they are banning our embassies our embassy in Congo.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. A word to you.
I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many colleagues, especially the new ones, don't know that the Honorable Nabanja and I have come from far. One day we will tell our stories. So I sincerely want to congratulate her. That's what I wanted to say, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Sarah, then Honorable Choma.
The Igbo census report puts the figure of the working age going by the labor policy of 2011 to about 24 million. The planning also it says the quality of jobs in Uganda remains low, with 78% of the labor force engaged in vulnerable employment characterized with low pay and job insecurity. Uganda, according to NPA and World Bank reports, has the lowest business survival rate in the world. Only 1 out of the 4 farms remain operational after the first years of existence. This is what budget must address, but it is being mentioned in passing in the usual NRM business as usual casual manner. Younger people need jobs, and you cannot respond to this demand by violence and prison. Hundreds demanding equality life have been brutalized and imprisoned during this electoral period. Mr. Speaker, you know Sam Mugumya, we've been told he is being held by the army, very sick. Maybe you're not even sure if he has not died. So this is the response of the NRM. When people are demanding for work, prison. The NPA notes that while official figures show that unemployment reduced from 11 to 9 and 8.8%, in absolute terms, unemployment persists as a result of many Ugandans engaged in vulnerable employment, which is often characterized by low productivity. That's why our girls mainly are being trafficked to Middle East to work as housemaids. The boys who remain here are being marched to Ruzira, Chitaria, and Kigo for disturbing the judges. The World Bank, in its July 2025 Human Capital Development and Growth Review, says Uganda is failing to harness 61% of its human capital for socio-economic development. Mr. Speaker, I am only emphasizing information which the Honorable Mr. Asizi has given, and I thank him, which the committee has given, but they are shying away. They are saying, you, regardless of the non-compliance, please approve the framework paper. These are the dangers that you face. I ask you, honorable members, to reject this framework paper. They go and do it. First, to comply with the law, and secondly, to comply with common sense. Thank you very much.
You did tell us here, Mr. Speaker, that the reason the Minister of Education, the substantive minister approved by this Parliament, cannot attend Parliament, it is because of COVID. That's what you told us, Mr. Speaker. I was wondering if the minister who has no time for Parliament can have time for schools. So the procedural issue I am raising is whether this Parliament must not interest in itself in what is taking place at the Ministry of Education. These ministers, you are roasting one after another. First, my friend Ogwanga brought a statement, chest. Secondly, Jesse Muyingo brings a statement, chest. Now you are about to chase Honorable Kaduchu. They take more than 3 weeks without meeting the minister. They can come here and pretend. 3 weeks. Sometimes a whole month. That's why they keep bringing the same statements, just changing their signatures and dates.
because the one running the ministry is not accessible, and you said here COVID. Related to that issue of procedure, Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Education here in the last Parliament brought a report here of the President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta Tibuhaburwa running a school in Kainerugaba where he pays 700,000 per child in that school, but he also pays 10,000 for a full year for a child in UPE school. So if you want sanctions taken against the exorbitant charge of school fees, even before you go from Yingo, we start with Mr. Museveni, who runs a school where he pays personally 700,000 per child in Kainerugaba, and then he pays 10,000 per child in UPE. Then we can deal with the others. That's why they can't take sanctions, because they themselves violating the
MP for Ramsho's order.
In the evening is when we will be looking for the moon. If it's sighted as you rightly said, our calendar begins at sunset. So that will be Ramadan fast. So I join you, Madam Speaker, in wishing Muslims a happy month of Ramadan. And also join you in congratulating former FDC youth, the Honorable
Chairman Youth League.
Yes, the Honorable, Right Honorable Thomas Tayebwa, for his new responsibility. I was looking at Mama Mimbira there, and I remembered the day she was taken to Ruzira by this government. Madam Speaker, the point the leader, Right Honorable Leader of Opposition made, I think the minister has answered one leg. First, you called the government. I saw the Honorable Bahat standing. I don't know whether you become government by being here first, that you are the first in Parliament. But the point, Madam Speaker,
there is an order.
We are both FDCs.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I just want first of all to congratulate the Deputy Speaker for the achievement and the appointment. On the point of order, my brother, Honorable Ssemujju.
I want to look at your eyes. You know, you're covering your very beautiful eyes.
Right Honorable Speaker, my young brother here, Honorable Ssemujju Nganda Haji. Al-Haj is very much aware that I, Beatrice Atimanywa, Mama Mabira, I'm a member of the NRM. I contested, I'm a flag bearer, and I'm a serving minister in the government of the NRM. And he's alluding to his statement that I'm an FDC. Is he in order for him to continue dreaming that I'm still an FDC member when I'm a real NRM?
Honorable members, there's a saying: if you want to determine your destiny, forget about the past. Much as the Deputy Speaker was in the Youth League, is in NRM. He's in NRM and is the Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, endorsed by none other than NRM party. So, having been there, forget my past. Let's look at the future.
Madam Speaker, I will now forget that you are also in FDC. I will forget.
You forget.
Since you have instructed me.
Actually, I have not been, I was there and I left there. I don't regret leaving.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I take your counsel, I will forget. But the question Honorable Government was answering, the leader of opposition singled out the journalist, but the point he was making was about deployment of JAT, Joint Anti-Terrorism, to deal with issues of election that are not terrorism. That's what you must answer as government. Why must you have joint anti-terrorism? Because, Madam Speaker, we all have videos of a NUP candidate being grabbed, tearing his shirt, beating people who were with him. The journalist was just unlucky that he was severely beaten. But if anyone wants, I have these videos here, we can play them, of JAT beating, shooting. That's what governments must answer. Since when did the elections become terrorism? That you must deploy joint anti-terrorism. I thought that the Honorable Bahati, who by arriving early in Parliament has become permanent in the government, each time they call government, he stands up. And I was about, Madam Speaker, to complain because the front bench is full of all the junior ministers.
There's an order.
I think we need to take this parliament seriously, and really raise, when we are raising issues, Madam Speaker, because these are issues that affect the people of Uganda, and we find solutions. We don't dramatize them, pick them sarcastically. Madam Speaker is a honorable member, Ssemujju Nganda, in order to assume that when I stand here to speak on behalf of the Prime Minister, I'm just speaking because I came early, that you are not aware that I'm here to represent government is in order.
You know, the problem, we've made this house a house of jokes.
There are things that we take for granted. You are dressed the way you are dressed for a reason. We have progressively become casual. I have seen ministers who are dressed like they are going to milk cows. For the speaker to continue dressing the way she is dressed every day, and that tells you the mental frame of some of our colleagues, Madam Speaker. But you are the one who has been lenient. When we raise this matter, you find a way of defending them. You can look at them. I don't have to say names today.
No, you say the names.
Someone enters parliament as if he's going to milk cows.
Say the names.
Like the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, who was saying order before I even mentioned his name. Madam Speaker. And we are lucky we have a former CDF, General Muhoozi, who is also a minister for law and order. The last time we had a major NRM activity in Kampala, one of the new NRM Ridge, the ghetto, robbed the people on the street. Can we get assurance that these meetings we have seen announcing, at which you are going to display various NRM ridges, that that ridge will not rob our people, those of us, our people work in Kampala? Or we should ask them not to be coming to Kampala, that can the minister responsible for the law and order assure the country that that newly created NRM ridge called the ghetto youth will not rob our people in Kampala like they did last time?
Thank you. How did you confirm that they were NRM?
They were putting on the perennial NRM candidate for President Yoweri Museveni's T-shirt with his portrait clearly seen.
Assuming it was another party putting on that T-shirt.
That's why I am asking the minister responsible. I'm not asking the speaker because I know the speaker is not in charge of law and order.
Before the minister comes in, does it mean that if I put on a particular color, that I belong to that party.
Madam Speaker, there is a minister responsible. So